Hello and welcome back to Pixel Street Videos. Today I'm going to be modifying my PS5 controller. As you can see on the screen, I purchased the eXtremeRate Rise 4, which is a remap kit that allows you to remap any of the buttons on the controller to the back four paddles that will be included in the kit. You can see, the Amazon listing right here if you're interested in buying it. They also have a two paddle configuration you can buy. Yeah, I'm pretty excited because, as you may know, I love the Elite Series 2 controller. I play all of my games with it on Xbox, so it's exciting to have an option for PS5. I know that you can buy a scuff controller, but from what I've heard, the experience with that is pretty rough. So, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking get into it. Why not? Why not? You'll be able to see here. I have the kit I bought. Where am I at? Here we go. Where are we? There it is. See if I can focus a little better. The eXtremeRate Rise 4 remap kit for the PS5 controller. This will be pretty intensive. I'm gonna have to solder part of it. Now you have the option to either solder or not solder. The difference being that if you do not want to solder or don't know how to solder, you can only remap these front four buttons to the back four paddles. But for me, I want to go ahead and solder because then I can remap the touch, the touchpad, the button that you could press in, and L3 and R3, the sticks that you click in. So I just want to have the ability to do whatever I want with it, more or less. But yeah, here's the kit. So let's just open it up. You have the new back to the controller here. I think it's going to look really crisp with the kind of white gray offset. Where am I at? My camera's setup is a little weird, so it's a little backwards. But yeah, that's going to look pretty sweet. Let's set that to the side. And the rest of the stuff in the kit is it comes with tools to take apart the controller and to put it all back together, and a bunch of screws. I guess if you lose screws, they have extra here. Actually, these actually might be to mount in the back plate. I will be watching a video as I go along with this, the official video from the eXtremeRate YouTube channel. So if you are going to do this, I highly recommend watching them. I'm kind of just doing this on stream for fun. And then you have all of the buttons here that are going to go on the back. And then you have some ribbon cables, which I will be soldering on, along with replacing old ribbon cables in the controller. Yeah, and then more ribbon cables here and instructions. Let's check out the instructions first. See if it says anything different other than watch the YouTube video as you do it. Very important. Identify your controller version and follow the instruction below to make the L and R FPC cable to fit your controller. Okay. So there's two versions of the PS5 controller. There's the BDM 020 and the BDM 010. I believe I have the 010 because the 010 was an earlier controller, and I've had this controller pretty much since launch. And it kind of shows you the cable configuration. It's the same cable. It's just either you're cutting, the 010 portion off or the 020 portion off. So yeah, I'll use this in a bit. Let's go ahead and just start opening the controller itself. Let me get the video going. I kind of already skimmed through the video earlier, so I kind of know what I'm doing, more or less. You take these tools out. I will close this bag so I don't lose these screws. Yeah, soldering is not fun all the time, I guess. I've only done it once, so we'll see. So the first step is to pop off these L1, R1 buttons. Maybe. Yep, there we go. L1 button, you just pry it right off. And the R1 button comes right off as well. And you can see there's two screws in here. Ooh, let me center. These two screws are going to be removed. Next step is to pry off this whole bottom black area. like that, and like that. And I think it just pulls right off. Maybe? A little tough. Come on. All right, so yeah, that comes off pretty easily as well. All right. Next step, I believe, is to unscrew the. Oop, that's not what I want. Unscrew these four screws here. There's one on each side of the bottom of the controller, and then two underneath L1 and R1 up here. Screw these. L1. Sorry, I'm not used to like recording my hands as I do stuff like this, so it's kind of weird, but oh no. There we go. And then the two on the bottom as well. There we go. I meant to play some tunes while we do it. See if that works. I want to lose those. Okay. Now, I don't know. Does this just come right off? I believe it does. I think the back comes straight off. Maybe? Oh, there's two clips right here on the front I have to pry off. Hold on. Let me turn up the... Oh, that's not it. All right, cool. I believe the music should be a bit louder now. We got movement. Hold on, I gotta rewind this video slightly. Okay, so I just use this to kind of pry it open. What am I missing here? What am I missing here? Let's see. They pulled those two clips off. Got it. And then for them, it kind of just comes off. So let's see. Let's try the other side. I didn't miss anything, so... Huh. I didn't miss any screws, so I don't know what's going on here. Oh. Alright, it came off. There we go. Got it. So the back just comes right off. Okay. Next step, I believe, is to remove the battery. Which I think it should just come right off. Yeah, then you remove it right here. We'll set this to the side as well. Let me move this stuff out of the way. Okay, and then we unscrew this. And then the two on the side. Okay, now I think that this whole bay... I think I missed a part. Okay, yeah, so this little ribbon comes off. That allows you to take that whole thing off. Cool, so yeah, it's already pretty much apart, more or less. Kind of just playing catch up with the video now. So now I gotta take out this little cable here, which pulls straight out. And then this cable up top here, the blue one. Actually, I have some tweezers that I pulled out for this so I don't break anything. Let's see, this little guy. Comes out like that. Okay, then there's two on the sides here. One on the left and one on the right. Both of these get removed. And I'm following a video as I go. I really don't want to mess this up, so I just want to make sure I get everything, you know, correct as I go. I'm gonna pull this over here so it's bigger. Okay, yeah, remove that ribbon. Got it. Okay, and then I'm also removing it from this side as well. You can see that. Because I believe these are the ribbons I'm replacing to add the ones that let me map the buttons in. And then I remove this one completely as well. I don't know what this video just did, but I think this should just come out. Maybe? Yep, there we go. Okay, obviously we don't want to disconnect these cables here because they are, you know, for the rumble feature of the DualSense. Okay, so now we are removing the touchpad. Yeah, not in here. Pause the video. Okay, so now this whole part comes off, I believe. Crazy. Crazy. So now this touchpad, I believe, oh, I gotta take the these two buttons out. Cool. Let me rewind real quick. I believe that I unscrew these two screws on the touchpad. I'll set that up here. Set that up here as well. Take out the cable. So I take this cable out of the touchpad here. I believe this goes back in though. And now we solder. We find out which one of these has the soldering cable in it. The cable I need to solder on. It's in here. Bent that a little bit. I don't think it should be a problem though. Come on, get out of the bag. This is such a tiny cable. All right, here we go. Move this stuff to the side. I gotta make sure I'm soldering it onto the right place. So you can see this little, you can barely see it, this little red cable. One end needs to get soldered onto here. Like right on this little, you can't even see it. Let me pause this video. Needs to get soldered right on this, where are we? Here we go. Needs to get soldered right on this little silver dot, just to the right of that big, which is the button, the actual button there. Let's see. Let me get the solder. Which I should not need a lot of solder at all. All right, here we go. All right. Solder's on. Now we gotta make it hot again to put the wire on. Sorry, this is really hard to see. I wish my setup was better so I could zoom in a little, but come on, solder, get hot again. Melt down, buddy. There it goes, there it goes. And there we go, we got that soldered on, that one part of the wire. It's really not a lot of soldering you gotta do for this. It's just like, I think 4 little tiny things like this you gotta solder total. So now the ribbon, I believe, goes back in. Yep, so I'm just placing this ribbon back in where it came out. Pushes in snug like that. And now I'm feeding in the wire along with the ribbon back through where that ribbon came through. There we go. Cool. So those are back through. Now I think what we do is screw these 2 screws back on. Kind of jumping the gun from the video, but I'm like 90% sure that's what needs to happen. I'm screwing them back on now. This is my first time ever modding any controller ever, like the inside of it, so I'll be pretty stoked if this works. So this is gonna go back in here now. Come on, get in your hole, buddy. Whoa, 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 something's crooked. Okay. Get it back in here. Cool. Now it's back in. I can put these buttons back in. There and there. These are the start and share button, I think is what it's called on PlayStation. Start and share. Cool. Now it's kind of taking me over to solder on this here. So what I just soldered before was a wire to let me remap the touchpad button to the back of the controller, one of the 4 buttons. I can put on any of those I want. Now what I'm going to solder is a ribbon cable on here, on this board here. I think it goes on the back actually. Yeah, it goes on the back here, and this is going to allow me to remap L3 and R3, which are the click buttons within the analog sticks. I don't know. Can this go back on here? I think so. I can set this back in here. Okay, so it's telling me right here, this is... I believe this is the ribbon cable here that goes across them. So one of these... Which one are they? Let me look again. I gotta see exactly where they're putting them. And you can see right here, I have the BDM-010. I mean, you can't see that. It's fucking tiny on the camera, but... It does say on there which controller you have. According to this, there should be some little, like, tape included with this kit. But I'm not seeing it. Unless it's in here. Let me look. No. No tape here. Huh, okay, I guess I did not get any tape with mine. With my kit. Okay. So it looks like I need to solder this on so that that and that make contact. So I'm soldering this over so that this, this one right here, this little connection, and this one here are being soldered on top of it. I'm gonna solder on top here. So that's R3 on the left and L3 on the right, because we have the controller backwards, or you know, flipped over. This is going to be hard without the tape that they included. I'm hesitant to use any different kind of tape just in case it does anything weird. You know what? I'm going to do it anyway. Let's see. See what kind of tape I got here. I thought I had some tape. Maybe I don't. Oh, I do have some tape. I just hope it doesn't melt. I'm trying to solder this masking tape. This masking tape kind of... Well, these Scotch tape. Scotch tape, that's what it is. I was gonna ask what kind of tape it is. So let me just line these up. One there. There. Let me tape that there. I'm gonna triple check that these are in the right place. Yeah, I know the left one for sure is. And yes, the right one is as well. So we're gonna go ahead and try and solder this ribbon cable on now. I believe the solder will just sit right on top here. There it is. All right, perfect. That one's on. And that one is also on, I believe. Yeah, there it is. Nope, that one is not on. Okay. Let's try just heating it up. Getting it down there. Alright, there it is. Now it's on there. Perfect. Perfect. Alright. Let's continue. Guess I could take this tape off now. Yeah, that's on there pretty sturdy. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay. Now we are feeding. Hold on, I gotta follow this video again. They're feeding this little red cable through here, I believe, which is also where that ribbon cable will be fed. Put this back. There we go. Might make it easier to place this in. I don't know why it's not sitting back in place. There it is. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so let's pull these through. We got a ribbon cable. Alright, there we go. It's starting to come back together. Now, oh, I gotta pull this down regardless. Because there are 2 screws I need to put back in. These top 2 screws need to go back, so let's see if I can remember what screw goes where. Yeah, these were the 2 silver ones. The 2 silver ones, that makes it easy enough. Hey, Tom Burger Stand, how's it going? I'm doing good, I'm just modding my controller. I'm putting 4 paddle buttons on the back of it via a kit called what is it called? eXtremeRate PS5 Rise 4 remap kit. So I'm pretty excited because I love my Elite controller on the Xbox, and I don't want to pay like $250 for a scuff controller for the PS5. Following along with their official video they have on their YouTube channel, so okay, so next it is telling me to grab this cable here. And it has an adhesive here, which is going to help it stick to the motherboard. Okay, so that says, what does that say? Touch key, which is where I'm going to solder on this little red wire that is going to the front of the controller. Don't spend your money on cookie cutter junk. I mean, like, I'm all for it, but like, if it was a first party, like, Elite style controller, I totally would do it. But the fact that it's scuff, I don't know. I have a friend who recently bought one. Sorry, something's going on outside. Some little kids crying, but yeah, I have a friend who recently bought one from Scuff, and it was a nightmare. Like, the FedEx delivered it to the wrong person, and like Scuff didn't want to help them. It got weird, and then Scuff was like, okay, well, here's your money back. Try and get in on the next drop. And like, that's the whole other aspect, is like, they're hard to get. So so we're just putting some solder on here to make it easier for us to solder on the little red wire from the touch button. Okay, is that enough? I'm gonna put a little more. Okay, that should be good. And I believe the next step is just to solder on the red one, but I'm not 100% sure. Watching the video, yep. Next step is to solder this on there. I'm gonna flip this around to make it easier. And I don't know, personally, I like to tinker a lot with stuff, so like, this is right up my alley, doing a mod like this. And I believe I'm done with the soldering. Okay. So it's telling me that this gets connected here. This kind of just sits on top, which is pretty cool. I just want to watch this again to make sure, but I believe that's the case. Okay, yes, I soldered that. Line the connection points of the PF Rise. Okay. Let me make sure that they are aligned. I'm gonna pull it off real quick. Yep, perfect. Perfecto. All right. Okay, so this I'm gonna tuck under because I'm gonna need it. We're gonna flip this back over, and it'll sit right in place there. There it goes. Oh yeah, this is coming together. Now I can start putting the ribbon cable. Ooh, where did that ribbon cable go? No. Hold on. We have a ribbon cable malfunction. Hold on. Let me get these tweezers in here. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. There it is. There it is. Okay. So now I should be good to press this all back into place. We got our ribbon cables up. Looking good. So now this ribbon cable is just going back to his home. Along with... Nope, not yet. Where did that thing go? Oh, there it is. This little rubber piece came off, and I believe it's supposed to be kind of wrapped around. So I'm going to put it back on before I continue. Alright, there we go. I think I got it back on correctly, so we're going to continue. Alright, next part has me using this here. I'm going to bring it closer so you can kind of see it. Focus. There we go. So you can see it's the eXtremeRate PF Rise R1, R2, V2, and it has BDM020 and BDM010. Now that signifies the type of controller you have, PS5 controller. Apparently there are two different kinds. I know that mine's the 010 because it says on the board right here. So since I'm only using the 010, I can cut off the 020 since I will not be needing it. So I'm going to cut it off right now. If I can find, here we go. And I'm assuming that you could probably just leave it on there and not use it, but for the sake of what I'm doing, like, I don't ever plan on opening it again or switching it to another controller, so I'm gonna go ahead and just cut that. The 020 is cut off. Okay. So now we are putting this in where we took the other ribbon cables out. Refocus that. So this is sliding in right here. And then you curl it around here, the back of the controller, and the front side, if you can see that, is going to go in right in that white connector there. Let me pause this video real quick so I can get this in here. It's kind of a pain. There we go. So now we got both in. It is worth mentioning these instructions that came with, as I mentioned earlier. It has actual sizes of this ribbon cable, so it tells you pretty much if you have the 010, line it up here, and that way you know you have it correctly. Like, you can just lay it on top of this piece of paper, but I'm pretty confident that I have it correct. So and then we're going to do the same thing with this other ribbon cable here. You can see you have the BDM020, 010, 010, and 020 again. So just to show you how this works, you see here we have the 010. So you can literally just lay it over it, exactly the same, and it tells you where to cut. So I have the 010. I'm going to cut off the 020 there and the 020 on the other side. So 020 here is getting cut off, as well as on the other side. Get those out of the way. And continue. But I'm pretty sure this is just kind of doing the same thing, but on the other side of the controller here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so yeah, this is sliding into the white part on the other side here. Hold on. I completely missed what just happened in this video. Was that right? Oh, no. So this is sliding in here. It's this little black part. Can you see that? Underneath the ribbon cable that I soldered on. So that's going on there. And then you flip it over, and the other end is going into that white part. Perfect. This is actually fairly easy to do. I'm surprised. I thought I was going to have more problems with it, but I am not. Next up, it's showing them put the black shroud thing on for the battery. Okay, so all the ribbon cables come over it, I believe. What are they doing with that? Okay, yeah. So everything is gonna come. You know what? I gotta put this blue ribbon cable back into the top here. I forgot to do that. So let's do that now. All right, there we go. So we're gonna make sure all ribbon cables stay outside as we place the shroud for the battery pack back in. Nope. Oh, what was that? Oh, that little black rubber piece again. That thing does not like me. Okay, I believe, yep, there we go. I think that's everything. All the ribbon cables are out. Let me put this little black rubber piece back on again. Neat. There we go. All right. Now I believe we're probably going to screw this back in. And I think that was one of these 3 screws here, so let's go ahead and do it. 46 minutes in, we're moving along. This little piece is back into place. Got it. Now it is telling us to put the battery back in. Which is fairly simple to do. If you've done anything with computers or anything before, this is a really easy plug. There we go, that's in there. Now it's having us peel the adhesive off of this ribbon cable right here to stick it onto the battery, and that's, I believe, kind of what powers the whole thing here. This is what connects everything together. Oh no. Okay, yeah. Oop. Oh yeah, that is supposed to be soldered. Got it. I was confusing myself. I was like, why is that sticking? Why is it sticking? Okay, so now this red cable I'm going to kind of tuck to the side here so that hopefully it doesn't move too much while playing games and such. And then this is L3R3. Everything's labeled on this little board here. Everything's labeled so that you know what goes where. And it even says it on the ribbon cable, L3R3. So that gets plugged in here. And these actually have a little black flap that you need to flip down to then lock it into place. It doesn't just press in like the other ribbon cables have. Okay, so now you can see here, this goes right here. Just makes sense because it's right there. And then lock it down with that little, give it a little tug to make sure it's in place. And this one I'm going to put behind this ribbon cable because this goes to the back buttons. Make sure that's in. Lock it into place. I'm going to double check this second one I did. Yeah, that's in there. Perfect. All right. So that is like, I want to say 85-90% of this install right there. Now it's having me do some button stuff. Who doesn't like butt stuff, you know? Who doesn't like button stuff? Let's dump these out. There are these little bars here in the little baggie. I'm just going to dump all of this hardware here out. Now that may or may not work in the end. We'll see. So you can see they are, what am I looking at here? These little bars go in here to kind of help with the leverage of clicking the button so that it goes back into place. Push it through. Oh man, there we go. That's in there. This one, ooh, this one as well. Get it through there. Maybe. Man, that's really hurting my hand. There we go. Use the screwdriver. Use that to push it. Okay, cool. And then this is where they sit. So everything's labeled here. K1's on the left. K2 is on the right. So K1 is going to get pressed in right here. Perfect. K2 on the right. Perfect. Did they put the other buttons in yet? No. So now we're grabbing the back of the controller, the new back, I should say. This is the old back here. The new back has some grips in it. They do sell multiple colors and everything, so you could really pick whatever you want in terms of color. They have black, they have red, they have blue, green, you name it. I chose the white one. I also chose the one with the grip, just because I like having a little bit of grip in the back of my controller. You know, you choose whatever you want. Let me slide this over here. All right. So now you can see this literally just locked into place. There's grooves on the back of the buttons and the back of the controller. And if you slide it around, it'll lock in. You feel it just catch right there. Oop, pause it. So now that that's in, we are flipping it over. Maybe. Yep, there we go. So they're showing that there's 4 places to screw in here, and I have screws. So let's go ahead and screw these in. And apparently this little screwdriver they gave me is not magnetic. Here we go. So here's one. Yeah, let's go. I'm very excited to try this out today. That's the wrong screw. That is the wrong screw. All right, here we go. 2 more. 1. It does look like they gave me a bunch of extra screws and stuff, just in case probably you lose one during this process, which is really nice actually, because I'm sure a lot of people do. And that's something I panicked about when going into this. All right, so all 4 screws are in. Now we are putting this on here. So you kind of just line it up and feed the ribbon cable through. You'll see it pop out that side there. Ribbon cable goes through. They do not make this easy. Let's see. It's almost like they don't want you taking apart their controllers. That's wild. Hold on. What did I do? Something's going on here. 1 second. Okay, hold on. Lift this up over the trigger so I can pull it back off. Let's try again. There it goes. There it goes. Beautiful. Let me make sure this little rubber piece is still in place. It was, but I just pulled it apart. Okay, so you gotta, when you're putting it back on, I would recommend starting at the triggers. Get the trigger part all the way down, and then the rest kind of just falls into place. When I did watch the video earlier, it said not to squeeze this all the way back on, because you will need the space to slide this ribbon cable back into the controller. And the last part is this, in this little bag here. Ooh. What else is in here? Oh, yeah, that's a little light indicator shroud. So yeah, this is kind of what makes it all work. All 4 buttons are within this little board. I don't know if you can hear that. Oh, definitely not. Okay. So now you feed the cable into this, and it has kind of that same little black flap that you flip down once you connect it. I just want to make sure I plug it in the correct way. But really, there's only one way to do it, so. We're going to slide it in there. Just had it. I just had it. All right. Oh, nope. It's a little crooked. Let me turn the controller. That will make this easier for sure. Okay. Now that that is in, now this gets clipped under here, and I think we're good. Maybe? Yeah, that's in there because these holes all line up. Now we gotta screw 2 screws in here to make the little button motherboard stay in place while we put everything back together. Nope, wrong screw again. Wrong screw. Oh no. It might not come out. No, just kidding. Okay. I don't think that's the wrong screw. Maybe it is. Maybe it's this one. There's 3 different size screws here. I thought there was only 2. Yep, there we go. Kind of force it in there. Nope. Nope. Wrong size. It's the wrong size. Now I'm struggling to get it out. It must be the smallest one then. Right? Let's try the little tiny one. Struggling here. Alright, sorry. I was paying attention to it, so it was off camera, but I got it. It's the skinniest screw that comes in the kit. The skinniest one that comes with it that goes in there. Two screws here. Might have tightened one of them a little too much. Whoa. Or not enough? One side feels way more clicky than the other. I got it. Alright, I think we're good. Tightening it up. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Alright. Rewind the video real quick, because I missed some steps while doing this. Got that in, we screwed it in. And now I believe we put these in. K3, let's see, K1, K2. I'm assuming this is where K3 goes. Okay, so it's showing me that this goes in here. This is just kind of the LED indicator for the buttons themselves. Okay, so that button moved places, it looks like, from the video, but there's only one way for it to go. That's what it should look like there. Huh. What am I missing here? Okay, so this says K3, K4, so I'm gonna try and get these installed on this first. The video kind of shows only the 2-pedal configuration, so I'm kind of just winging it from here. Go. This is gonna be a pain, huh? Just falls out every time. Okay. All right. Oh, there we go. We got him. We got him. All 4 buttons feel like they're working. That's good. I think I forgot to put 2 screws in. I'm gonna take it apart again. I definitely forgot 2 screws. Yeah, because there's 4 outside. And I have 6 screws left. So, off it comes. Take the buttons off. Trying to decide if I need to unscrew. I think I do. Damn it. I was right there, right at the end. That's what happens though. You always forget something. On all the way out. There we go. Pop this out. Wait, do I? I'm trying to figure out what has... Oh, it's these 2. I didn't even need to unscrew that, but you know what? I did anyway. Extra credit. Those 2 little clamps that... Okay. Weird. Okay, so these are those 2 screws that I forgot to bring back in. Let me show you. This one here by the rumble on this side and on the other side. Oh. All right. Let's put it back on. Again. All right. There we go. Let's should have fed this cable in sooner. Let me do it again. There it goes. Sorry. Keep forgetting to keep it on the camera because it's just a weird angle for me, but all right. Let's screw it all back in again. We're almost done. We're almost done. What are we at? 1 hour and 8 minutes. So I'd say it takes about an hour to do, right? I'm about done now. And then obviously when I'm done with this, stay tuned to youtube.com/pixelstreetvideos where I will give some impressions on it in the future. I'm sure I'll be talking about it on the podcast. And maybe I'll make a whole dedicated video to my thoughts on this product. No, I forgot to put the button on. I told you, there's always something. There we go. Always something. Did I lose a screw? We got extra. We're good. We got extra. All right. So the only way to do this is really to hold it. I can't really show you how to put it on because I don't want to break the LED light and these buttons keep falling out. Like right now, one fell. There we go. All right, there we go. We got that on. Let me just finish screwing everything in. Get these 4 screws on, get the front plate back on, and we are done. We're wrapping this up. Overall, I think it was fairly easy to do. Personally, now, obviously, it depends on how comfortable you are doing stuff like this, but I think I'm pretty comfortable with it, so I thought it was fairly easy. I could see why it could be difficult for people. The easy way to do it would be, you know, if you don't know how to solder or don't feel comfortable soldering and don't have a soldering iron, obviously you can do it the simple way where it's just kind of taking it apart and plugging ribbon cables in. But again, that only allows you to remap X, circle, triangle, and square. Whereas soldering it lets you remap all those buttons plus L3, R3, and the touchpad button, which is pretty cool, honestly. Pretty cool. Man, this feels... it feels good. It's like a great amount of clickiness. Put this back in. Okay. Front plate is in. Now we just need L1, R1 in, and we are done. L1 back in place. Yeah, there we go. And R1 back in place. So there you go. This has been me installing the eXtremeRate PS5 Rise 4 remap kit. This is the V2 version, which has 4 buttons instead of 2. It feels really good. I will say that. I think it looks really good. I think it's a great product so far. Obviously, that's up to, you know, that's bound to change, you know, whether or not I like it while I'm actually playing. But it does feel good. I love having the 4 extra buttons on the back of the controller. Like I said, I love my Elite Series 2 controller for the Xbox, so I imagine I will love this as well. Yeah, stay tuned right here to Pixel Street Videos for more reviews, including one on this. I'll probably give one in the near future, probably in the next week. I want to have some time to play with it and see how I like it. Overall, the feel's good. The quality, it looks really nice. The white matches from the front and the back. They have a bunch of different colors. The grip is nice. Fairly easy to do. Like I said, it depends on how comfortable you are soldering and stuff like that, but yeah, I will test it out and get back to you. Stay tuned right here to Pixel Street Videos for more videos and Let's Plays and podcasts and whatever John feels like doing, honestly, because he puts out a lot of list videos of a lot of different stuff, so yeah. Bye!